Hello everyone, welcome to back to Bargain Gaming, where we can play excellent games without busting our wallets. This is a continuation of my tips for the PS4 console and controller shortcuts. Be aware that there will be spoilers in this because I will be showing the maps and stuff like that. So if you don't want the spoilers, please stop immediately. Sorry I didn't warn about the spoilers early in the game. And then going back to the fighting tips for fighting, it always makes a lot of sense to do your fighting while I'm getting overheated here. So okay, we need to take off our jacket. Oh, and then the puffer jacket. The puffer jacket has the best insulation in the game. If we are going up to the winter country, see, puffer jacket has a 30% insulation, and this feels like this category here shows you, the speed. If it's the speed of it going up or down, also gives an indication as to the improvement if we put on clothing items, improvements or decrements when we remove clothing items. And the hotter it is, the easier we become thirsty, or our thirst level goes up much faster when we are in a very hot environment. So we can use this again, equipping stuff from our backpack to our person is very quick. Let's say assuming we want to switch. This one has a higher insulation, right? Pressing triangle shows us it has an insulation of 1%. Since we were feeling hot, it would be nice to get rid of the insulation benefit of the mining helmet and exchange it with this Western cowboy hat, because it has a -10 insulation. So just pressing on R3, we will do an automatic swap. And armors and clothes do not go into the same slot. So clothing sections, except for the head slot and the feet slot. So armors and shoes go into the same slot, and on the head slot, the same. Armor and hat goes into the same slot. All the rest, like hands, chest, and legs, clothing and armor have different slots. So putting clothing on is very fast. Putting armor on is also very fast. Just again, using right stick, click on it, and we are dressed. And right stick clicking on it, and we have removed the pants. So I usually put them in a line down here because I scrapped most of all the items I found, because our clothing is pretty maxed out at all 600. So that's another speed way of moving stuff around. Okay, and then fighting is usually almost always better, especially if there are multiple zombies, because especially there are a lot of them. So it's usually better backing away from them so they come towards you, and then just shoot them, right? Especially if there are a pack of them coming towards you, it's always good backing away. So if you miss one, you will hit the zombie behind. They kind of congregate together. But as soon as they're up close, they start. They have sideways movements. They go sideways, and dogs are the hardest. So on a level surface would be the best way to fight them, and then backing up is the best way. We always keep our distance, and we use ranged weapons. Also, once in a while, please look around, because zombies, especially the crawlers on the ground, is hard to see, especially in this burnt land area, right where we are right now. This is the burnt land area, and then Okay, let me move it back. So this top part here is the burnt land area, and then this lower part area close to the city, where this about the lines about here. This area is the nuked area. This nuked area has very little plants growing in it. On the burnt land area, there are a lot of trees, but almost no grass, right? It's a burnt land area. The lower part is a nuked area. The nuked area has almost like a stony surface. So the burnt land area it's almost always raining. So we know that. So even when you're underground and you're digging around in the map, when you hear the rainfall sound, you know you're in the burnt land area. And if you're in this blackened area and there's no rain, that means you are in the nuked area. Like the surface has like stony kind of ground. And so this is the desert area, and that is the temperate area. And then up here on the northwest is the steppe area. There's like lots of cactus and some corn that we can actually harvest. And then, on the upper right corner is the frozen area. So those are the different areas. So going back, so again, the other thing when we're fighting is all ranged weapons except for the wooden bows have a recoil effect. So guns and our crossbow has a recoil. See, assuming we shoot something, look at the target where it is aimed at, right? Let's aim it at about where the flame is. Okay, all right, there. And when we shoot the crossbow, pulling the R2, whoa. Hey, we can actually shoot off. That one I didn't know we can do that. So let's put, now we are freezing. Let's put a new thing in there. So, okay, now we are freezing, so we need to put on our clothes. Let's put on, go back to the character menu, and R3, we swapped our mining hat for the cowboy hat, and then we put on our puffer jacket. The puffer jacket again has the best insulation. So how it feels like shows that the temperature is going up, so we are no longer freezing. And okay, so when we shoot any ranged weapon, there's a recoil effect, and that's the reason why. See, again, let's say assuming I'm aiming at that line right there, close to that line. So as we approach, we're closer to the line. So that's the one way of targeting too. See, that's why moving up and forth. If there's a certain elevation, we're shooting down, we can move closer and we can change the target. So that gives us, at least that gave me finer, finer control of targeting. When targeting something, the movement gives me finer control. But however, when we shoot something, look, the recoil went up, and so I almost always aim for center of mass, or I hit them in the stomach. From the groin level all the way up to the chest would be a good. As soon as I have acquired a target that is in that region, I let loose with my ranged weapon, because then the recoil will kick it up a little bit, and the closer they are, I can get even 3 shots in without adjusting my elevation, right? Because I'm hitting them, assuming I hit them in the groin, it goes up a little bit, and so now I'll be hitting them in the stomach, and then the third shot will hit them in the chest, and hopefully by the fourth shot I'll be hitting them in the head, and so that way helps me in terms of targeting. So I almost always go for center of mass. Now it is advisable, at least from my point of view, to have a main base that is different from our fighting base. So in our situation, this is they have a, so if you press square and hold it down using the left stick, we can access quickly whether we want the character menu, the map menu, the crafting, players if on a multiplayer mode, our journal, quests, and our skills. So a quick a tap on the square does the same thing, but now we use left R1 or R2 to get to the different screens. So that we can do that here using pressing down and holding square and then using the left stick, and we can go directly to the skills menu. So again, so let us bring up the map. So here is our main base. Yes, and our main bunker actually. And here is our fighting base. And it was also advisable that we create a separate entrance so that we can go in there and then we can come up here. So there is no weak point. If we don't have an entrance into our base on the surface, there is no weak point unless they drill underground, which they don't unless we trap them in a pit and then they dig towards us. That will cause a weak point. So if they're just on the surface and we don't have pits for them to fall into, then there is no weak point, because like in our stronghold, it's surrounded by reinforced concrete and stakes all around it. So whereas here, even in our entry point, I don't have a door into our entry point. What I have is I built a platform so that I can run up the platform and then leave a gap between our high walls so that I have to make a jump for the final space, so that I think zombies can jump up and down, but I don't think they can jump across. So that's the thing I have done, is to separate our fighting base from our main bunker. And bunkers are the most effective what do you call this, safe spot in this game, because especially I drilled all the way down to bedrock, and you cannot dig past bedrock. Like here, when we're going down, let me turn on our headlamp or mining lamp. See, this is dirt area. Dirt is maybe 1, 2, 3, maximum 4, and then from there on it's all stone. So for them to dig down to our bunker, it'll be forever, right? Like this, it'll be forever. So, and they will not come in through the main door that we just came in through, because our activities, I made sure that our fire, our furnaces, our campfire here, our furnaces, and any movement or our mining activities is away from the door or our main tunnel coming down. So they will have to dig down through from here, going all the way up to the surface. That's like maybe 20, 25 layers worth of rock for them to dig through. And I don't think they can dig down, especially if we're moving around. So they will, because the zombies are attracted to heat from furnaces and our activity. So with a campfire and 2 furnaces, we will surely attract zombies. But regular zombies on regular nights are not dangerous. It's the horde night zombies that, especially the ferals, that can actually dig, that has a lot of digging power. Okay, so that's it. And this is bedrock. We cannot dig underneath it anymore. That's it. That's the base. And then if we dig all the way down to the bedrock, I have dug all the way down here to connect our main base, all the way south, and then to connect to our outpost here in the desert area. So this one is our outpost over here. That's our outpost right there. That, oh, rather, this is our outpost right here. Oops, sorry. That's our outpost. So that one is our outpost. This is an apartment hotel close by our outpost. I was lucky in this game that maybe not lucky, because I started the game as a novice, and so maybe that's why I spawned in a desert area. I spawned right around here, so I was close to the river, and I was close to the hotel apartment, and so I had very easy access to glass jars and food, with the yucca plants here. And then also there were some canned goods inside that apartment hotel complex. And so, and here I also discovered that, you know, on the first day, the game is a little kind. It's very kind to new players. On the first day, if you spawn in the cold region here, or in the desert, the temperature changes is not that steep or significant. I did not experience like overheating on day one here, but come day two, yes, there is overheating, and I did not experience any frigid night here, except I think maybe the second night, or that's why I didn't outlast the second day, because that's when a storm hit, and of course I froze to death. I don't think I went past the first night. So first day is okay. First night, not okay. Because they expect the players to start going down to this temperate zone, the green area, if we spawn way up north. And then on the bottom, we expect to go to the middle part. So that is the different spawn points. And then when I played the game early, I thought there are many rare items, very ultra rare items in this game. The ultra rare items are these. Like, this is a nail gun. It comes complete. This is an ogre. So nail gun is the best tool for repairing items. So middle part of the game or late in the game, when you are well developed, when we are well developed right now. Like now, right, we have like, it's like day 169, and since most of my days have a 2 hour per 1 day of game time, that means we have twice that. So 170, we have spent almost 340 hours in this game. So I believe we are in the late part of the games, because all of our items are on purple right now. So ogres are very hard to come by, and the parts here, an ogre part has, oh, that doesn't, so that's a found item. Like this one, okay. An ogre part like this, I think when in our inventory and I press triangle, okay. Oh, wait, okay. Oh, so the ogres have different parts. These ogre parts and ogre blades have to be found in game. The engine and for the handlebars can be made out of our backpack, and the engine can only be found by disassembling cars. So let's put this back. And okay, the other rare item is ultra rare item are chainsaws. Again, what we can find are chainsaw parts and chainsaw blade, and then the rest of the items, like the engine, and again the handlebars, we have to make. The engine, we have to find it in cars. And nail gun comes complete as a whole. There are chainsaws in the game that we can actually find complete. Like this one, I found this complete. Hold on, I thought I found this complete. Uh, okay, I thought I found it complete. Anyway, and then the other item that I thought was extremely rare were scrap wires. We need scrap wires for a mini bike and for a cement mixer. Until I found out that in the game, we can actually dismantle computer type consoles like in a factory or in a radio tower, like close to 200 game hours into the game. I had only found like 9 scrap wires, and I've made one cement mixer which I never used. They're not really, cement mixers are good for mixing a cement into concrete mix, or turning gravel into sand. But I never found any good use for it, and so I don't use the cement mixer. And going back to the scrap wire, so I found a total of 9, 200 hours into the game. Then I discovered that I can actually get more of them from computer consoles. Now I have, I think, close to about 50 of them. Right, I'm not sure. I think memory serves me right. Yeah, we've got 55 of them. So they're not that rare an item. No, the other ultra rare item are calipers. Calipers can only be found, or mostly be found in working stiff. This one. This is a caliper. This tool and die set is I would say rare. This one is ultra rare. Okay, and so those are hard to get. And then in terms of resources location, let's go to the map and then let's check our map. So resource location, all of these gray areas here that you see, they represent clay. And then shale can only be found mined in the desert area. And then nitrates, coal, a lot of nitrates can be found in this area where you see a lot of black stuff. I think those are shale also. I have not yet found any shale in this area because they might be in between the what do you call this? The bedrock and the surface. I have at most mined only at most three levels or 4 levels up from the bedrock, like here all the way up. So that's 1 level, 2 level, 3 level, and 4 levels up. So I have only mined 4 levels up, and when we came down that tunnel or that shaft, there were like 25 to 30 levels of rock in between us and the surface. So there should be up there, but I haven't found any in this area. And then a good source of sand is the desert, of course, and also the bombed out area here that looks like rock. When you mine the surface, you can use a shovel or you can use an axe or a pitch or a pick to not the burned out area, but the rocky solid looking area in this black area. Digging the surface will yield gravel and sand, so that's a good source of sand and gravel. And then steel is almost anywhere. Steel and rock and gravel almost anywhere, as long as you're digging in bedrock. And then hunting locations. Hunting locations are very similar. Hunting locations, let's say like this gray area that we have not yet explored. Every time we go into a new area, if it's unexplored, it is gray. So we go in there, there's a high chance of deer, chicken, hare, or pig spawning. So and like this area, this has a lot of game in this here. And usually if there's a deer, you will see also a pig. And hare is very hard, right? Because this is grassy area, and grassy area goes up close to our waist level, so we can barely see the pig or hare or chicken. Now chicken and hare can also spawn a lot in the desert area. Sometimes when you're walking along, you will hear a hare or a chicken squealing because they have encountered cactuses. And if you hear twice squawking or twice hare, like almost like a squealing sound, twice that usually the chicken or the hare would have killed itself or impaled itself close to a cactus. So if you explore the area surrounding this area, and you might actually see the carcass of the hare or the chicken at the foot of the cactus. So those are good areas to. So that's sometimes what just just given by the game. And also in this green area where there are a lot of trees, the pathing problems causes pigs or deer to get stranded on a tree, and they cannot get past the tree. They get stuck in it, so they get up and down on the tree, trying to get free of the tree. So if you crouch and hit it in a crouch situation, we can deal like twice the damage, if they cannot see us. So, and then in the mini bike, mini bikes require the most fuel. So this is shale in its crude form, and then shale needs to be cooked using a beaker. We have to have a beaker to be able to turn shale here into gasoline. This is gasoline. So there's a lot of shale down south. No problem. Once we start digging down south in the desert area, we will come across a lot of shale. And then in terms, a mini bike needs a lot of oil. So all the gas stations, every loot spawn, they will respawn gas. But the best source of oil is shale. And then thanks to Sui Holt, Xiuhcoalt, he pointed out to me that there is an easier way to gas up our mini bike, because when we target our mini bike and press and hold, I think it is X, right, or triangle, it gives us choices of going under the hood, or honking it, or gassing it up. Gassing it up at one at a time, if we pick that, it will only put 250 units of gas into our mini bike. But if you go under the hood, there is a refueling line that if you press on it, and if we have enough gas on our backpack, we can fill up it to 100% capacity. And that is thanks to Sui Colt, who gave me that tip. Xiuhcoalt. Again, thank you to Sui Colt. That's about it for tips and console shortcuts. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you will continue to follow my channel. Bye!